Welcome to Poetry with Shing, where we uncover the beauty behind poetry. In today's episode, we'll be looking at the poem Father Returning Home by Dilip Chitre. And our question for today is write a critical commentary on the following poem, paying close attention to ways in which our response is shaped by the writer's form, style, and language. Without further ado, let's begin. Father Returning Home by Dilip Chitre conveys the alienation of an aging father by the external world and his family, leaving him to resort to finding solace in the inner recesses of his mind. So let's write down some keywords. So alienation of an aging father, leading him to find solace in the inner recesses of his mind. Through detailing the journey he undertakes throughout the poem, from heading home to the daily routine at home and finally entering his dreams, the message of the increasingly fast-paced society gradually leaving the aging father behind is conveyed. Despite the seemingly bleak future that the father has, he finds hope and purpose in his life, which keeps him going. The poet highlights the exclusion of the father through detailing his experience on the train home, and emphasizes his estrangement from his family once he reaches home, finally seeking solace and purpose in his dream. On the train ride home, the father's behavior, appearance, and description of the setting paints a pathetic image of the father, highlighting his insignificance and redundancy in the fast-paced society. The father is disconnected from society, as the suburbs slide past his unseeing eyes and his eyes are dimmed by age. So his eyes are dimmed by age. So it shows a sense of disconnection from society. The father is unfocused, and his aging eyes convey his feelings of exhaustion after a long day at work. This disconnect the father experiences with the society is further emphasized as he stands along silent commuters. So the silent commuters are over here, showing that he does not connect with society. In addition, his appearance, with soggy shirt and pants, black raincoat stained with mud, and his bag stuffed with books, falling apart, portrays the father as disheveled and pathetic, making him stand out from the rest of society. The description of the setting, through using words such as late evening, yellow light, fade homeward, and grey platform, conveys the dullness of his surroundings. Symbolizing the father's fading years becoming an aging man. The long sentence without punctuation in the first stanza also portrays the overwhelming feeling that the father feels, that the father feels as he struggles to keep up with society as it moves very fast, like the suburbs sliding past his eyes. It also mimics the long journey going home that the father takes daily. When he arrives at his stop, he gets off the train like a word dropped from a long sentence. So here. The simile emphasizes his insignificance in society and the greater scheme of things, so it's insignificance. However, and hint at his detachment from the rest of the world. However, his alienation from people does not end in the external world, and the exclusion he feels continues when he returns home. Once the father returns home, he is once again welcomed by loneliness. Through description of the setting and his actions, the poet conveys the father's estrangement with his family. The father is noticed when he arrives at home, as the speaker sees him. Sadly, he is treated as invisible and is ignored and paid no attention. For dinner, he drinks weak tea and eats a stale chapati, emphasizing the dullness of his life through portraying the dullness of his environment, using mood imagery. He contemplates about man's estrangement from a man-made world. So that can be found here. Evoking pity in the reader as the father considers his alienation from modern society. This is further brought out as his sullen children have often refused to share jokes and secrets with him, leading to his disconnect even from his family. Despite the overwhelming loneliness and sadness the father experiences, he continues living as he seeks solace in his dreams. As the father begins to rest, vivid imagery and symbolism show his source of refuge, which keeps him company, being books and his dreams. On the way home, he hurries onward back home, as if something is waiting for him. So he hurries, like something is waiting for him. Back at home, he is seen reading a book, which was what he was hurrying for. The imagery of him reading suggests he is a deeply contemplative person. So he reads about man's estrangement from a man-made world, so he's a deeply contemplative person. And he also seeks refuge in his mind. As he goes to sleep, the static on the radio keeps him company. So over here. And he dreams of his ancestors and grandchildren, and think of nomads entering a subcontinent through a narrow pass. The past and future are his hope. So ancestors is the past, grandchildren is the future. And they are his hope, which keeps him alive as he finds an identity with his past and future. Symbolized by his ancestors being the past and his grandchildren being the future. From this, it shows the father sees his present as bleak and resorts to looking to the future for purpose in life. Despite the sadness and loneliness he experiences in his life, the father rests in comfort that he is a part of a greater cause, which is to be the transition from his ancestors to his grandchildren. So father serves as a transition. The use of present tense in entering show that he will continue to serve as a transition, giving himself hope that his existence is of value and meaning, which spurs him on to continue living his life. The feeling of purpose and hope the father feels despite his pathetic life highlights the strength of the father to keep living. In our increasingly fast-paced society, the aging population often fail to catch up with the times. This is inevitable, and everyone has to experience the feelings of exclusion and isolation at a certain point in their life. The poem, through describing the journey of the father, from alienation in the external world to estrangement in his private life, to finally seeking solace in his inner mind, details the unavoidable journey everyone has to undertake in some point in their lives as they age. That's all for today's episode. Hope that you enjoyed it. Thank you and goodbye.